Welcome to a bonus video on Bonjour Paris, brought to you by Blue Sparks, English-speaking interior designers in Paris. We're having a conversation today with Antonia Mahn, who will share with us how to approach moving or setting up a pied-à-terre and how to create a home in Paris from A to Z. Antonia, welcome.
Thank you, Sylvia. It's great to be here.
It's lovely to have you here today to talk about your interior design business in Paris. So, can you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you came to Paris?
Well, I'm from a very francophone family. We came to France on holidays when I was small, and I did French exchanges as a teenager. I was also an au pair girl for a summer in the south of France. And then I went on to study French and philosophy at university. And the natural continuation was, to come to Paris and start working here. And also my grandmother always used to say, it's French, it's so chic, it's French, So that was always kind of an incitation to come to France and to like French things.
I love that. It's French, Blue Sparks, the interior design studio you founded and run, offers full service interior design. Can you tell us about the service?
Yes, of course. So the service, I like to say that it's move-in ready and stress-free. So move-in ready means that I do everything for my clients. I mean, literally from A to Z. I redesign the space, including any renovations which need to be done, any decoration. I also design and select, propose to my clients everything that goes inside, from furniture to paint colors to the accessories in the bathroom. Everything is validated with the clients. I propose it just to make it easier for them. And then I also do the project management, so of the renovations and the procurement of all the different articles which go inside the apartment. And it can be either a full renovation or a partial renovation. And I also install. So whenever the day comes, the works are finished. I make sure everything is delivered on time to the apartment, and I install it all, take away all the packaging so that my clients can just arrive and unpack and enjoy it. My service is also stress-free. In my first career as a consultant and a project manager in the financial services industry, I was always involved in the organization of things and how things were running, and the objective was to help the companies run more efficiently. So I've applied this to my own interior design firm, and I use a proprietary process which brings clients through the decision making, because I know how overwhelming it can be trying to renovate an apartment. And so it takes them through room by room and through the different levels of detail to bring them down into the very last level of detail, step by step. I also deal with any problems that arrive, be it within the building itself during the renovations, with the insurance, with the homeowners, the other homeowners and neighbors in the building. I deal with it all for my clients to try and keep their stress to a minimum. During the renovations, I provide a weekly reporting with photographs. So I let them know what progress has been made, if any problems have come up, and also what the solutions and the impacts of those problems are on both budget and planning. So the idea is that any problems which come up, we already have the solution to propose, usually a couple of choices with recommendations as to what would be best, just again to try and keep the stress levels down for the clients, because often when they are not there, it's difficult, and it can be difficult to let go and to not get stressed about it if someone else is doing it for you.
Stress-free, that sounds like a service I'd really like to have.
Yeah. Over 25 years here in Paris, I've have a network of trusted contractors and suppliers. And I can talk to them and ask them questions, and we work very well together. So we've got very good working relationships based on mutual respect. And so we always find the best solution for the clients, no matter what happens. So that's, yeah, in Paris, it's a historic city, and we often need to knock quite a lot of the historic dust off. But this is something we're used to, and we just find the solutions. Whatever needs to be done, we'll do it for our clients. That's the way it works. So all in all, I deal with everything just to make sure to keep the stress levels down for the clients.
And can you tell us about some of your projects?
Yeah, sure. So you'll see in the photos, there's a before and after photo of a project in Cité Vanneau, which is near the Rodin Museum in the 7th. And so this was a rented apartment which was furnished for my clients who were here on like a temporary contract for 3 years. And they didn't really like the furniture. So we were able to swap out some of the furniture in the living room, which you'll see here, and also lighten the space. They didn't like the color, the dark chocolate color of the velvet sofas. So we covered those, put in a rug, put in lots of plants, and put in some other coffee tables just to lighten it up. And you'll see that that's the Blue Salon there. And then the next picture is of the dining room, which was quite hard. You know, there was a hard metal table. And the sound, the acoustics in the room were pretty bad. So we put in like a nice tablecloth with a special insulation underneath that. And then some fabric upholstered chairs, a rug, and again, some plants. And it just lightens the room and makes it a bit more comfortable and inviting for my clients and their guests. So that was the first project that I wanted to talk about. The second project is the Henri Martin project, which was a project which takes up about 3,000 square foot of a whole floor of an apartment in a Haussmannian apartment in the 16th. And so this was an apartment which my client had, and she wanted to divide it into two. She wanted to keep part of the apartment for her and her family as a pied-à-terre in Paris once they'd moved to London. And the other part of the apartment she wanted to rent out. And the problem here was that there was no water, there were no kitchens or bathrooms in the apartment to rent out. And so with the contractor, we designed a whole system of pumps, and all the wastewater is pumped up above the false ceilings to the other end of the apartment. Now you can't see all this uh, technical stuff, luckily, in the photos that you'll see here of the kitchen and then the bathroom. But it's quite, for me, it's quite a big project because there was nothing. There were no, it was a dining room and then a small gym before we put the kitchen and the bathroom in there. So yeah, quite proud of that one. And then the last project I wanted to talk about is on Rue Saint-Honoré in the first apartment. This one's a pied-à-terre. It's about 50 square meters. So it's basically a bedroom and then a living room, which also has an open kitchen in it. It's a very, very old building, must be like kind of 1700s. And you can see from the photos that there are the beams in the ceilings, and then the cabochon floor, which is very Parisian space. We did a total renovation of this space. And then for the decoration, the client already had a lovely rug. And so we based the decoration of the living room, which you can see here, around the rug. So everything coordinates. And I think it's kind of like one of the most Parisian, they wanted a very Parisian look. So this is the look which we achieved, I think.
And who are your clients?
So my clients are basically mostly either retired or very busy professionals. Quite often they're English speakers or international people who want to have a home here in Paris, be it their main family home or a pied-à-terre here in Paris for when they visit for longer periods. And they're generally quite busy, not around, and very happy to delegate to somebody who takes care of it all for them.
And do you have any particular size of project that you take on?
Yeah, it can be anything really. I mean, it can be anything from 150 square feet. That's it's like a bijou apartment. It's like a bijou hotel room, which is just basically one room, a small room at that, with an open kitchen. And we've put in a Murphy bed, which comes down from the wall. And redoing, there's obviously a shower room as well with that. And it can go up to the 3,000 square foot Henri Martin project, which I mentioned earlier on. So as I said, it's from either small pied-à-terre to large family homes. And it can either be a total gut renovation or just partial renovation or decoration with the furnishings and accessories.
Well, you really do it all. So how do you follow, for example, decoration trends?
Yeah, I don't actually follow them. I think that they can date a space quite quickly. For example, the Pantone colors, which change every year, that I think it's very dated. And also, I mean, even if the decoration trends are there, it's not given that the clients like it, and it's the clients who are going to live in the space. So for me, it's most important that they actually like it. I mean, for example, I had a few months ago, I had one couple of clients who said, "Oh, don't put anything mid-century modern in the apartment. We grew up with it and can't stand it. We don't want it anywhere near us." And another client who said, oh, I want to decorate my office. The whole of my office theme is mid-century modern, so please decorate it like this. So clients, obviously, we all have our own tastes, and I'd rather that the client was happy because they're the ones who are going to live with it. So I want them to live their best lives in the apartment which they love.
And why is it particularly challenging for your clients to renovate and furnish an apartment in Paris?
Well, I think the language barrier is quite a big problem for them because, I mean, often my clients can have at least a conversation in French, not always, but often they can have a conversation in French, but they find it quite daunting to imagine talking to a plumber, about a leak and trying to sort that out in French. So I think that's one of the big problems. And also it can be difficult to know who to call when you're here, if you don't have any contacts and who to trust, it can be complicated. So, I'm very, very happy to help people with that because I know I had a steep learning curve with that over the years that I've been here. So I'm very happy to help out on that side of things as well.
And what do you like best about what you do?
Oh, my favorite part is when the clients come and they see their newly finished space and just the delight. And they've seen it all through the photographs, through, whenever I do my weekly reportings. But, just for them to feel it and to be in the space and for it to be, them to realize how it really does achieve what they wanted in Paris and that they now have their own home in Paris with the least effort, and they're delighted. And I often receive, I received a few days ago an email from a delighted client saying, "Oh, we were just discussing, how much how much your involvement in the project helped, and we're delighted with the result, and thanking me again and hoping to see me again, for an apéro at their apartment soon in Paris." So that's always delightful for me. I'm really, really thrilled that my clients like their apartment so much.
Oh, that's lovely. So, Antonia, can you tell us when and how can viewers get in contact with you?
Well, it's, I'm available anytime if they need to, even for just a question. I'd love to talk to them. I'm always delighted to help out. As I said, I went through all of this when I arrived in Paris 25 years ago. So, if I can help, I'm always delighted to do so. But often when people are buying apartments, it's great if they can contact me just after or when they're looking for apartments. I can help them assess the apartments in terms of budgets, for renovations and also in terms of scope of project or what we could do with the space. And also if they want to contact me like early in the process, we can use the 3 months between the signature, la promesse de vente, the pre-sale agreement and the actual sale agreement when they get the keys. We can use that time for designing so that the works can start immediately whenever you get the keys. So it just means that you can make the most of your apartment sooner rather than later. But as I said, I'm delighted to talk to anybody whenever they have any questions and to put them in touch. I've got a whole network of bilingual professionals, be it a tax lawyer, concierge service, a notary. If they need any contacts, just let me know. If people want to contact me, the best way is through my website, which is bluesparks.paris.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much, Antonia, for being here today.
It's been great. Thank you so much, Sylvie.
Thank you for everybody watching this Bonjour Paris bonus video. See you in the next one.